Right, so this week we're going to have a quick chat about kipping from the bar. Abby gave us a question. She wanted to know about kipping, chest to bar, toes to bar, anything to bar, she said. So we'll just go through the basics of using a kip for your gymnastics movements. Now, one of the things with kipping, for us, we usually prioritize strict strength over using kipping in a gymnastic movement. So one of the reasons this question would have come about was the guys in our large group CrossFit classes have just finished the CrossFit Open. During that, it is their outlet for competition, so we have let people move through to kipping when it's in competition. Bear in mind, it wouldn't necessarily be something that I would recommend a lot of people do all the time, especially if you haven't developed that strict strength prerequisite before moving on to kipping. Now, why our gauge is we're looking for 3 to 5 strict pull-ups before we'll generally teach somebody to kip. Reason for that is there's been studies shown that when you're at that bottom portion, there is 3 to 5 times body weight on your shoulder girdle. So if you're not able to do a good form strict pull-up 3 to 5 times and take your own body weight through that range of motion without adding momentum, it's probably going to end up as a recipe for injury. So that's why we prioritize strict strength. In saying that, when we are teaching somebody to kip, there are a couple of pieces to the puzzle that we look at. So we haven't gone through it, but we usually go through a dish sequence. And when we are teaching somebody to kip, they'll start off from the bar, okay? And what we're trying to get them to do is move from a hollow position back to a Superman position and just work on opening those shoulders up back and forth, keeping a nice tight core, not letting our pelvis come all the way up or all the way back, and just moving nice and controlled through that position. Being able to maintain that position while hanging is super important, because then what we're going to do, we're going to add a little bit more force, a little bit more violence with those hips, okay, before we go to a pull-up. But as we go through that range of motion, we want to maintain that nice position forward and back. We want to try and avoid, if we're trying to use this just to increase the amount of strict reps we can do, we really want to avoid, if we can, big overextension and coming through. Now, if you're kipping and you're going to do a kipping pull-up and you do the kip and you're here and then you've got to do a second kip to get yourself over the bar, there's a better than average chance that one or two things is happening. Either A, we're not engaging our hips properly to generate enough force to get ourselves over the bar, or B, we haven't developed the right amount of strict pulling strength to finish off on the top of that movement. Okay, so that's for a kipping pull-up. It is the same thing for a chest to bar pull-up. So as a scaling option, as an option in the CrossFit Games, chest to bar pull-ups were the way to go. So if you could only pull to here and then we're having to do a second movement to get up there, it's probably a lack of strict strength to actually finish off, use all those muscles in between the shoulder blades and get that chest touching the bar. That's the pull-ups. Haven't really touched on toes to bar yet, but to start off with that, maintaining that nice high position in order to get your toes to the bar is probably a story for another day, but that just gives you an overview on some things to look out for when you're kipping for your pull-ups and things that you may need to work on. Again, with that, if you prioritize strict strength over the top of that, your kipping pull-ups will come a long way very, very quickly. Good luck with that. Bye.